Welcome to ZenTen with Jackie Rose, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and with Zentangle. And I'm going to take a moment now and show you all of the ZenTens that we've done so far. So we started July 6th, doing one a week. So this was the week of July 6th. And you can watch these recordings if you haven't done them yet. They are still on the YouTube channel. And here is one that we did the second week, July 13th. And then we did this on July 20th, the week of July 20th. And then we've got July 27th, first week of August, week of August 10th, August 17th, and the last week of August was this one, and then the first week of September, starting on August 31st, was this one, and now today we're starting a new one, so get out your pencil. Let's take a nice deep breath in and out and start to relax. And we're going to do something very different today than we've done in the past. And we're going to draw our string. We're not even going to draw a border. We're going to draw a string using your pencil. And you're going to start in the middle as if you're drawing a spiral. So we start off with that almost like we're drawing a small E. Nice and slow and relaxed. And then we're going to come around, leaving a good amount of space in between the lines. Now, as you can see, when we do not strive for perfection, we're just drawing a spiral. Mine is a little bit floppy, and that's okay. And we're going to keep going around. Now, you might have a different number of layers than I do, and that's perfectly fine. You might be working on a different size paper than I am. Perfectly fine. I use these wonderful little craft books. I think they're like 4.5-inch squares or something like that. Not perfect square, but around 4 inches, 4.5 inches. So here we are. So now you can put down your pencil and let's pick up our pen. Actually, I want you to pick up your pencil again. We're going to divide this into sections. So the first section, maybe right about here, and it really doesn't matter where, each one of us did this differently, but I'm going to do one section here, I'm going to do one section right here, and one section right here. So the whole idea to have 4 sections, because we're going to tangle this spiral all week. So we're going to do one section per day. And so I think, so we should have 4 sections. And again, it doesn't have to be the way I did it. Just divide it into 4 sections. So to give you an example, if we're going to start tangling in the middle and coming out like this, I put a little section here. So this is going to be day 1, first section. Day 2 will be, because I divided this with my pencil, this will be what we will be tangling day 2, this section here. And then day 3, this section here, because I blocked it off. And then day 4, we've got this section. So you may need to add some spirals, or even if you didn't, you could have big, thick layers, and as long as you have 4 sections, that is fine. And we're just going to have to tangle extra slow to fill up the time. So let's start now. Now you can pick up your pen, and let's start with drawing a zigzag. So we're going to take this edge here, and we're just going to draw these straight angle lines on a zigzag, almost like you're just kind of going back and forth, like when we scribbled when we were children. Maybe some of you have children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews that kind of scribble. And basically, I'm just think of zigzag, back and forth, not worrying about where it's going. We don't think about the outcome. Doesn't matter what it looks like. We're just setting down the foundation for this pattern called nzeppel. Many of you may already know it. And there are several different ways to set down the foundation for nzeppel. And this is, well, I shouldn't say several different ways, a couple different ways. But this is the way that I always do it. I really enjoy the zigzagging, not worrying about it being neat or organized. There is another way to do a neat and organized nzeppel, and you can Google that, and I'll have the pattern name in the description, and you'll see the step out. If you Google any pattern with the name Tangle pattern after it, that pattern will come up with step outs showing you step by step how to draw them. You can get different variations from different people. So nice and slow and relaxed, drawing these zigzags. Kind of hard to go slow with drawing zigzags, but we're going to do it anyways. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's not doable. And it gets easier. So now we've got this nice scribble zigzag. Now we're going to spend some time in every single one of these sections of the zigzag drawing orbs. So I'm just going to pick this one to show you. So we trace along the edge, and as we get to the points, little corners, we kind of round off those corners, trace along the edge, and then just kind of round around the edges. So imagine you're squishing in a balloon or an orb, and we call them orbs or just imperfect circles. There's, for those of you who don't know, orb is a spiritual term, but for Zentangle, it's just an imperfect circle. So what I'm doing is tracing along the edge, rounding off the corners, not thinking too much about it. Trace along the edge, round off the corners. And do that in every section, even this little tiny one right here. I'm just going to trace along and just kind of imagine I'm squishing in a balloon. Don't worry, it won't pop. It's nice and tight and secure. So let's slow it down, breathing in and out. If you have some nice soft music, have that on. It's always helps with the meditation and the slowing down. We really want to get our minds to slow down so that our body can slow down and be healthier. Focusing on each stroke. Turning your tile, which just means your paper or sketchbook, whatever you're using. And you want to turn your tile to always be in a comfortable position, allowing your pen to be zen. That's my new saying. Let the pen be zen. In other words, don't think about anything. Let the pen do the work. Letting everything go. We never focus on the outcome in Zentangle. And for some of us, we need a lot of practice in letting go of the outcome, letting go of what it looks like. Because Zentangle was designed not to look like anything. It is non-representational. And it's designed to be a mindfulness practice, a meditative art form. And for those of you who don't know, Zentangle was created by Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas. They are a husband and wife team. He was a monk for many, many years, around 17 years, and she is an award-winning artist and calligrapher. And they put the two together, and they now have an amazing Zentangle business and community all around the world. And they are from Whitinsville, Massachusetts, 20 minutes from where I was living for 16 years before moving to Florida. I was very lucky to be close to them. So I'm going to be quiet now so you can enjoy the drawing, nice and slow, focusing on each stroke. Every line needs your undivided attention. And now let's go even slower, totally relaxed. So even though this is called ZenTen, if you've been doing this with me for a while, then you know that it's not always 10 minutes, but the whole idea is around 10 minutes. Sometimes it's less and sometimes it's more. And typically the first and last days are a little bit longer. You know, the first day we draw our string, the last day we do our shading. And if you can't stay longer than 10 minutes, you can always stop the recording and finish it later. Although you don't even need to watch the full recording because you can just do this on your own if you don't have the time to stay with me during this time. And if you want to continue tangling in this same type of meditative way with me, then you can look up any of the other videos I have on the YouTube channel. There's lots of them there. Some of them are full hour classes, and some of them are just ZenTens, as I mentioned earlier today. I showed you all that we did. So just relax, enjoy, and hopefully whatever comes your way today will be peace and serenity. And if it's not, you'll be able to handle it in a much more calm way because we've just calmed down our brains and our body. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.